Oh, boy. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Eagles News Now. I'm professional wrestler Chris Wilde, and the Philadelphia Eagles lose to the New York Football Giants 27 to who cares. So who's to blame, right? Who's to blame for this? You know, the Eagles got a lot of guys back. They got a lot of guys back after the bye. We talked about Alshon Jeffrey. We talked about, another week of Dallas Goedert, of Jalen Reagor. Oh, boy. Unbelievable. Nothing mattered. Nothing. It didn't matter. The guys that got back, Miles Sanders, didn't matter. You know what? If there's one thing that I attribute this loss to, it's coaching. It's 110% coaching. First, let's start with the defense. You know, the Eagles win the coin toss. Is the only thing they won. And they defer, and the defense is supposed to set the tone, and they let Daniel Jones and the New York Giants offense run the field over and over and over and over and over and over and over against them. Absolutely pitiful. This defense is an absolute joke. An absolute joke. You know what? Ken Flagel, linebacker coach, and I'm sorry I'm messing with this mic. You need to look. They need to get rid of this guy. Okay. First off, he stuck up for Nate Gary as a linebacker. These linebackers are absolutely horrible. You know what? T.J. Edwards played a bad game. Alex Singleton was getting his ass blocked all the way to Narnia. Like, it was insane. Daniel Jones to have a 34-yard run. This defense should to start the game off. You guys should be absolutely ashamed of yourself as defensive football players. You're supposed to set the tone. Then the offense comes out, and the play calling for this offensive football team is absolutely horrible. It's the worst. Boston Scott runs for, and I'm all over the place, but who cares? Boston Scott runs for what? He had a 34-yard touchdown run. Maybe it was more than that. I'm sorry. 34 was Daniel Jones. He had a 56-yard touchdown run. You barely see him the rest of the game. Miles Sanders is running good. Barely see him. Or when you do, these runs are so ridiculous that the Giants know what's going down. You barely go deep. I think they went deep one time in the football game. The officials were bad, but I can't blame the officials because it's just, I just don't understand it. I don't get this football team. Richard Rodgers playing good football as a tight end, but Dallas Goedert, this is a guy, okay? Dallas Goedert, that people were like good with the Eagles just trading away Zach Ertz because we got Dallas Goedert. We got Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert didn't do anything for this football team today. I mean, you guys understand that, right? He's healthy. He didn't do anything. Nothing. A couple passes, 2 or 3 passes that he caught. Nothing. I know we look at Carson Wentz. And look, Carson Wentz was not good today. Carson Wentz has not been good all year. But, oh my God. Can somebody please answer me in the comments why Sua Opeta was in the game? I guess Nate Herbig must be hurt, right? Is that what it is? Is Nate Herbig hurt? Because Sua Opeta is the worst offensive lineman the Eagles have besides Jamon Brown. Jamon Brown might be better than Sua Opeta. You remember when Carson Wentz tripped and fell during that crucial third down? Yeah, he tripped over Sua Opeta's foot. Sua Opeta is horrible. This offensive line was bad all game. There were times Carson had, hardly any time to throw the football. It's ridiculous. It's like, you hope, and I said this in the preview video, I thought the Eagles were going to blow this Giant team out. Absolutely. 20-plus point win. Because they should have. Because Daniel Jones sucks. Okay? Daniel Jones absolutely sucks. Carson has to go. He's a bad football player. The Giants have no running game. And the Eagles' defense and Jim Schwartz let them do whatever they wanted. You understand that, right? Whatever they wanted. And I know, you know what? Going into the game, you look, Eagles have beat the Giants 8 times in a row. Daniel Jones has not. Daniel Jones is 4-0 against the Washington football team and 1-15 against every other team. So you figure, okay, mathematics, he's got to get his at one point, right? So maybe this isn't a game that the Eagles win. No, we're not. We're not tanking. We're not tanking. The NFC East is so bad. It's so easy to win. The Eagles have the talent there. You have to understand that. Like the Eagles finally start moving the ball. They're doing good. Doug Peterson brings Jalen Hurts in the game. Jalen Hurts, who everybody wants to start at quarterback, the guy can't even handle he can't handle a snap. Miles Sanders picks it up for a 10-yard gain. Then he brings him in again. He gets nothing because the Giants know he's going to run the ball. Enough is enough. That second-round pick could have been used on something that could have helped the Eagles. Avonte Maddox, love him as a corner guy. Love him, I'm sorry, as a slot guy. He is not a second corner. These cornerbacks, Darius Slay included, should be ashamed of themselves today. Darius Slay, I mean, look, man. He's held guys in check for the most part. I'll get to that, Icy. He held guys in check for the most part, but guys get open. He doesn't score. There's no turnovers. No turnovers at all in this game. I guess it's a positive for the Eagles. Carson didn't throw an interception or fumble the ball. Guys get open on him. He doesn't catch interceptions. You know, Doug Peterson, dumbass play calls. Why not kicking the extra point so at least you could tie the game? Instead, you go for a 2-point conversion every time. This shit. I'm sorry. It's just it's. Oh man. Tony Martinez with the super chat. Thank you, dude. Screw this. It all boils down to Nick Foles winning the Eagles Super Bowl. Man, you know, Nick Foles is not having a good time over in Chicago. But it makes me question, and I'm with you. I'm with you on that, and thank you for the super chat. It makes you wonder about Carson, right? Because good quarterbacks win games like these. Good quarterbacks, veto these dumb play calls and make plays. So I agree with Tony Martinez. But again, a part of me, and I'm again with the next comment, is it Doug Peterson? Is it Doug Peterson? I mean, really ask yourself that. Because some of these play calls were ridiculous. The Eagles were running the ball good against the Giants. The 5th-ranked running defense. And I've said this. Look, I don't think the Giants are good by any means. Like, kudos to the Giants for winning this game. I don't think they're playing great by any means. But they do have a good defense. I've always said that. I think their defense is really good. Defensive line is big. The secondary with Bradbury, who I wanted the Eagles to go after, is good. Tony Martinez with the super chat. My point is there's no trust between Doug and Carson. The relationship is ruined and the front office. Part of me really agrees with that because, again, Doug Peterson and Carson. When do you ever see Doug going over to Carson on the sideline? When? You watch the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, good or bad, is always, or there's a coach, always by Patrick Mahomes. There is nobody near Carson Wentz. The only guy you ever see on the sideline talking to Carson Wentz is Nate Sudfeld. That's it. No coaches, nothing. It's insane. It's frustrating. Again, if this was the Saints the Eagles lost to, or if this is the Packers, or this is the Seahawks, okay, you know what? Whatever. I'm not upset. But this is the Giants who suck. They suck, okay? Wayne Gallman is not a good running back. Daniel Jones is a horrible quarterback. The Giants' offensive line is bad, and they pushed the Eagles' defensive line around today. Now, look, I heard before the game that Connor Barwin had to coach the defensive line because the defensive line coaches were out because somebody got COVID. Now, the Philadelphia media wouldn't let you know that because we were too worried about Brett Favre's comments and talking about Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. Nothing that was important did the Philadelphia media talk about. But you got to wonder, is that something? I mean, it could also be Carson just doesn't get juice no more. I don't know, man. It's just not good at all. Again, thanks for the super chat, Tony Martinez. I absolutely 100% thank you for that. And look, it's the best thing to happen to me all day. 2-point conversions are a joke. Jalen Hurts coming into the game is a joke. Agreed. Doug play calling is a joke. I agree with all of that. I mean, look, the Jalen Hurts stuff, again, it's nothing. Defenses must love seeing him in there because they know what's going to happen. It's going to be an RPO where he mostly keeps it, like he barely ever throws it. I think he might have thrown it one time since he's been in the entire year. It's just bad. It's stupid. It really destroys the rhythm of the game. Again, you've got Miles Sanders back. He's playing great. Why not? You're actually getting some screen passes completed. Again, Greg Ward's not my receiver of choice. I'd go with the Jalen Reagor. But it's just bad. And you know what? The supporting cast wasn't good either on the offense, guys. Fulgham, who I absolutely love. Travis Fulgham drops a big-time pass on third down. Reagor, again, he's a rookie. You throw it to him at the end on that fourth down. He doesn't do anything with it. It's just bad. Again, I talk about Dallas Goedert not showing up, not doing anything. Richard Rodgers was probably the most consistent wide receiver / tight end out of everybody. It's just bad. It is just, again, Doug Peterson, look, in Chicago, Matt Nagy is handing his calling duties over to Bill Lazor, who was a quarterback coach here. Maybe it's time for Doug Peterson to give up the play calling. I mean, because something's got to change. You don't just lose to this bad team that's the New York Giants. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The Giants are not going anywhere. I'm telling you right now. And again, kudos to them for beating us. Look, we beat you 8 times in a row. You were due. Great. Wonderful. This game was, again, it was the Eagles' game to win or lose. It really was. It really, really was up until the end. Some guys from the Giants made plays. Again, Daniel Jones is absolutely horrible. But how many times, and the Eagles have got to figure this cornerback situation out. Yes, Darius Slay is a good corner. Doesn't make turnovers, whatever. But Avonte Maddox is not an outside corner. He doesn't even look back for the ball. Try Michael Jacquet. Try whatever you have to, but it's not working with Avonte Maddox there. Nicole Roby-Coleman is bad. The linebacking core of this team, the fact that you spent no money helping this linebacking core out, the fact that you didn't even try to make any trades to get a better linebacker in here, I mean, is unreal to me. I think Nigel Bradham's still a free agent. I think Michael Kendricks is still a free agent. I would take any of those two over the guys you have. Alex Singleton had a hard time tackling people today, had a hard time coming off blocks. TJ Edwards the same, and Duke Riley is a special teams player, for God's sakes. Duke Riley is listen to me, everyone out there. Duke Riley is a special teams guy. He is not a starting linebacker. This is unbelievable. The fact that the Giants scored on a goal line dive by Wayne Gallman. Say that for me. Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman. Not Saquon Barkley. Wayne Gallman. It tells you everything you need to know about this Eagles defense. I do not like Jim Schwartz. I think Jim Schwartz is a bad defensive coordinator. I think that if Nick Foles didn't play in that Super Bowl, and if Nick Foles did not play better than Tom Brady, that we would be talking about how bad that defense was in that game because they gave up 500 yards. 500 yards. We've seen the Jim Schwartz defenses, like the Eagles have leads and the defenses give it up. We've seen it over the years. Enough is enough. So Schwartz and OC coach need to go. Well, we don't have an offensive coordinator. We've got like 5 coaches that are assistant head coaches or whatever the Eagles are calling them. But Doug Peterson calls the plays. Enough is enough. I've seen enough. They came off a bye. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. I said this in the preview video. No excuses. The Eagles have no excuses anymore. None. Assistant to the head coach. Yeah, might as well be. That's exactly what the Eagles did. They've got a bunch of Dwight Schrutes on the offense. Marty Mornhinweg, Rich Scangarello. I heard all about, how Marty Mornhinweg was watching Lamar Jackson and helped that offense look great. He comes here. Marty Mornhinweg sucks. He's always sucked. We know that. True Eagle fans know that. This is just, it's bottom of the barrel, man. It really is. Doug Peterson's 1-3 off the bye. I'll be honest with you, man. I said in my preview, I thought the Eagles should be the clear winner here, but I just had a bad feeling. I really had a bad feeling as soon as the game started when the Giants marched down the field after the Eagles sack him. I just knew something was going to, it was just bad. And yeah, there are a lot of bums on this roster. Sua Opeta, please, somebody find out why he was in there. Who do you bring in to replace Schwartz and take over play calls? I would bring in Jim, the equipment guy, over Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator, to replace him. He's horrible. He's absolutely horrible. I mean, look, the defense, they played Ben DiNucci. before the bye. They played Ben DiNucci. Dan Quinn, there you go. There, again, you can name anybody, I would take them. But Dan Quinn, absolutely. Herbig got a finger drove back into his hand and couldn't use it. Okay. Okay, so that Herbig got hurt. He couldn't be in there. Again, put Mailata at left tackle then and tell Jason Peters he's got to play guard. Because, I mean, this offensive line was bad. Look, I'm a Carson Wentz guy. You guys know it. Everybody that watches me. But please, name another quarterback that can do anything with pressure right in his face right away. I don't understand. I don't get it. You're afraid of hurting Jason Peters' feelings? Get out of here. He signed to be a guard. Put him in at guard. Lane Johnson was playing. Yeah, you know what? For the most part, I thought the ends did their part. It was more the inside that was just killing the Eagles. Matt Pryor was getting his ass kicked. Sua Opeta is, I mean, Jesus Christ. Again, excuse my language. Sua Opeta is just a horrible offensive lineman. The fact that you don't adjust right, and Jordan Mailata should have played. Yeah, you got a talented guy sitting on your bench when the rest of your offensive line is getting destroyed. Look, you have a halftime. And to us, halftime's long, right? Halftime's 30 minutes to us. To the players, it's a little shorter because you basically get in, you get a chance to go to the bathroom, maybe learn about a couple adjustments and go back out after a drink of water. But come on, you have a half. You see what's going on. It's time to say, hey, Jason, look, man, you practice all off season. We put over how great you were at right guard. Time to go there. Put Pryor at left guard, and let's have Mailata at left tackle, because the configuration they had with Sua Opeta going in, it killed them. It absolutely killed them. The Giants are a bad team. They're a bad offensive team, but they're not a bad defense. They're not. Bradbury is a great corner. Logan Ryan is a great corner. Leonard Williams is a great defensive tackle. They're a little bit, they don't have a great end. They don't, the other corner isn't great, but come on, man. Changer picked the Eagles last minute. Look, I thought the Eagles were going to win this and win it by a lot because the talent is there. Like, I look at this and, again, against when they play the Saints, I'm going to be like, even before this game, I'd be like, okay, the Eagles, the Saints have a good probability of beating the Eagles because they're the more talented team. The Eagles are the more talented team here. They just are. But they're not playing. Like, Scott, Sanders, Goddard, Reagor, Fulgham, Jeffrey. Like, these are good offensive players. They really are. Jeffrey didn't have a catch. But, I mean, so does it come down to Carson Wentz? 27-10, we should have won. Yeah, Jack, we should have won this football game. I can say that about every game that we played so far. Just tremendously disappointed. I guess that would be what I am right now. Tremendously disappointed. I cannot get over the fact that the game went the way that it did. That these decisions, the coaching decisions were just bad. I mean, Doug Peterson is coaching a horrible 2020 campaign. He really is. Tied against the Bengals. Again, shouldn't have tied against the Bengals. I mean, this is just... And you were thinking, look, they're coming off the bye week, right? They figured it out. We're getting healthy again. Injuries can't be that big of an excuse. Giants get the ball drive right down our throats. Daniel Jones, 34-yard scamper. Come on, it's Daniel Jones. It's not Lamar Jackson. It's not Kyler Murray. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It is Daniel frigging Jones. Daniel friggin' Jones. I mean, look, I put this on the defense. I put it on the coaching staff. Carson again threw some bad balls. He didn't throw an interception. Didn't fumble the ball. He was hit a lot. He was sacked a lot. Again, at times didn't have time to get the ball out of his hands. Barely went deep. I think maybe 2 times he went deep. It was, guys, I mean, painful game. I knew we were going to win this game before the end of the week. A lot of, to be honest with you, I've seen a lot of Eagle fans with that same opinion that we weren't going to win this game. I'm a guy that, I look into, mathematics and science and, the law of averages. And when you beat a team 8 times in a row, and it's hard to beat a team 2 times in 3 weeks, I understand that, but the Giants are not good, man. They're not good. They're not. I really thought the Eagles would do something to win this. But here we are. 3-5-1 now. I think we're still atop the NFC East. The Green Bay Packers are my family's backup team. That's a good backup team to have. I mean, they've but at the same time, I think did they beat Jacksonville today? Oh, by the way, Sidney Jones had a pretty good interception today. You know, the guy that the Eagles cut. I agreed with them cutting Sidney Jones at the time, but Steven, I'm not saying we're not a bad team. I'm not at all. Obviously, we proved it today, but the Giants are a bad team. They're a bad football team, and here's why I say that: they're up 14-3 after the half. They should have blown us out. This should have been an absolute blowout. The way the Eagles were playing, and basically up until 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, the Eagles still had a chance to at least tie the game. Good teams kill us at this point. They would have killed us. We would have had a chance. In the fourth quarter, a good team would have been playing their backups. 4th and 10, why go for it? Again, and what about these plays where 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, and they don't throw ahead of the sticks? What is that about? You're throwing an out to Greg Ward of all people, like at the line of scrimmage. You expect him to break tackles and get the first down? It's just bad play calling. What they need to do, they need to hire a real offensive coordinator. And Doug Peterson I think Doug Peterson's a good head coach. I think he's a good motivator. I think he's a good head coach. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach. Joe Judge threw his guy on the ground and cheered. Yeah. You know what? Again, the New York Giants are not going to win this division. I mean, look, I hate to say it. They're just not. I think the Eagles still walk away with the division by dumb luck. Because, again, the talent is there, guys. The talent is there. Miles Sanders is a talented running back. Say what you will about him, but Carson Wentz has shown he's a talented quarterback. We need to stop going for it every 2-point conversion. We need to stop going for it every 4th down. We need to kick the field goals when they need to be kicked. The defense has got to stop letting these mediocre quarterbacks get over on them. That's one of my biggest things. Daniel Jones, it's not Drew Brees. It's not Tom Brady. It's Daniel Jones. Look, guys, the Giants are a bad team. Daniel, let me put it to you this way. This proves my point completely. Daniel Jones, before today, 4-0 against the Redskins, 1-15 against every other team for his career. Now he's 2-15. But he's not a good quarterback. These wide receivers they have are, Shepard and Slayton, besides them, Golden Tate doesn't even like to be on, he doesn't even want to be on the team. The Eagles should have routed this team, and instead, whether they were overconfident, whether the calls were too simplistic or not simplistic enough, or, to me, look, if there's one culprit of this entire thing, I'm looking at the defense. I think, again, the defense on back-to-back drives in the beginning of the game gave up touchdowns. The Eagles score that Boston Scott run. How much illegal blocking the backs were there? A lot, but you know what? They for whatever reason the officials didn't call anything on the Giants hardly at all this game. But the Eagles actually score with Boston Scott. The very next play, the defense gives up another touchdown. This is, to me, is on this defense. It's hard to run the ball when you're playing from behind like the Eagles were all game long. And yeah, the defense or the officials missed a blatant pass interference call on Travis Fulgham. Like, he was tackled. They didn't call it on a 3rd down. A lot of blocks in the backs they didn't call. Look. I sit here in disbelief, man. Which really shouldn't be, because it's kind of how 2020 has been, right? Stop putting in Hurts if all you're going to do is run with him. Exactly. No flags. Thank you. I've been saying that for weeks now. They put in Jalen Hurts, right? Like, This is some kind of okay. When they first did it, like for the first 2 or 3 times, everybody's like, "Oh shit, here comes Jalen Hurts. What are they gonna do?" Now everybody knows because you do the same thing every single time. Every single time, he's gonna rather run the ball. It's an RPO, or maybe for one time he threw the ball, but that's it. You're not fooling anybody. You're not being creative. Wentz is set up as a wide receiver. The entire world knows he's not going to throw to Wentz. I mean, dude, it is just bad. And you know what? One of the times Peterson did that, the Eagles are actually driving, and it destroyed everything. Jack attack. Jim Schwartz sucks. Absolutely, he's bad. He's a bad defensive coordinator. I mean, he just is. And a lot of people want to say, "Oh, he's a good defensive coordinator." No, he's not. Look, we love the Super Bowl. We love the Super Bowl, right? If Brandon Graham doesn't make that strip sack at the end, and for some reason the Patriots win, Jim Schwartz is not the defensive coach because they gave up over 500 yards that game. I mean, do you guys remember 2018? Do you remember 2019, the Dolphin game where he let, and the Dolphins are actually decent now, but this was a really bad Dolphin team that he let come back and beat us, or the Panthers or the Titans, like, again, like